This is video number 1 in my Homestyler instructional videos. Homestyler, as you have just learned and seen some student work, is our site that we're going to use for creating 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional online floor plans. It's a great site. It does have lots of features that you're going to learn about in this first video and then the rest of the videos. It is not perfect, but it is great for what we need it to be, and it's free, so that works well for us. I want to start off with some tips before we get started. First of all, if you are watching the videos independently, I would recommend watching them on your phone and prop it next to your Chromebook. That way you can pause as needed and you can kind of work along while watching. If you are watching as a class, please, please, please do not work ahead if you think you're figuring things out, because what happens is students work ahead and they are not paying attention to the video, and then they miss a step, and then I have to explain it again. So I will pause as needed if we are watching this as a class. Next, clear your cache, cookies, update, restart, all of the things to make sure your Chromebooks are working as well as they should. That usually solves any issues that you may come across while working with the program. Next, use a computer mouse. It is so much easier to utilize all the features of the program if you have an actual mouse, not just your touchpad. So I know you're not used to a mouse, but you will definitely want to use a mouse. I have a class set of mice in the cabinet, and I'll have those out each day. They do not leave the classroom though. You will be using this program at home. So if you don't have a desktop computer or a mouse at home, I would maybe recommend buying one if you can. They're super cheap on Amazon. Again, you don't need it, but you will see today right off the bat how much easier it is to have. Next, avoid over-clicking. Give the program time to do what you are wanting it to do, and that will make more sense once we get started. So listen in my video, listen to my clicks, and listen to me explain click versus hold and drag and all of that. And then lastly, be patient. It can run slow. Once again, give it time to do what you want it to do. So those are just some things I want you to think about, but let's get started. So we're going to, in this part 1, create our program, or create your account. I'm going to give you kind of a tour of the program, what features we're going to be using, and then we will build the first assignment. So let's hop on over to Homestyler. So go ahead and open a tab and go to homestyler.com. And to create your account, right now you can see there's my name and my account right here, but in the upper right hand corner, right about here, it should say join now. So I want you to click join now. I can't show you that because I already have a bunch of different accounts, and so I can't really create another one, but it's super easy. You just click join now and then use the little Google icon to use your school email. So go ahead and start that. You should get to a screen that looks like this. Maybe there will be a couple pop-ups that you can close out of, but it should be pretty easy. And then once you see this screen, you're going to click right here where it says start designing. So I'm going to click that button. So what you see here is the actual program trying to launch. Each time you open the website, you'll have to wait for this to do its thing and launch the actual design program. Okay, so what we see here, a couple pop-ups, just close out of these. So either hit skip or the X. So don't worry about any of this, just hit skip or the X to get to this screen here, which is our grid, okay? All right, so quick tour. Right here, we have create, which is what we're going to do right now. Up at the top, you have file. You won't really use this right away. Save. It does have an autosave feature, but definitely try to get in the habit of saving every time you add a bunch of stuff. Undo button is going to be a great tool to use today and throughout. The rest of this stuff we'll get into later. So let's start building. What you're going to do is first we want to adjust some settings. So I'm going to click on wall settings right here. And we want to adjust the wall height and the wall thickness. So right now it is set to 9 feet 2 inches. I'm going to delete the 9 and just add a couple feet. So we're going to change that to 11 feet 2 inches. And then the wall thickness, it is set at 9. We've been working with 6, so we're just going to change it to 6. So I'm just going to delete the 9 and change that to 6 and then hit save. Okay, now we can start drawing. So we're going to use this button right here. Now, Once I click on it, it's going to start building. So I'm going to click, right, again, just watch this first part. So I'm going to click this, and there you can see a plus sign. So what I'm going to do on my grid about here over towards the right, I'm going to click once. So I'm going to click, and then you can see it has this blue box that it's creating. So I'm going to click, and don't worry about the numbers. I'm going to click again to create a rectangle. Okay, so we did that. I'm going to undo and show you once again. So I'm going to click Draw Room, and I'm going to come over towards the right-hand side of the screen here. I'm going to click once, drag to create a long rectangle, and click again. So 2 clicks, that's it. If it's doing a lot for you, click Undo. Now we want to do a square right here. So I'm going to come right in the upper left corner of this space in the gray wall. I'm going to do my first click. So I'm going to click once and then drag out left, drag a square, and click again. And that's the shape that we want. Now, a couple of things. Do you see the plus sign? It thinks I want to keep building. So if I keep clicking, it's going to add all these rooms, and students tend to get frustrated and confused. And we don't need all that. So just click Undo. Another thing is when you have the plus sign and you are done building, just hit Escape. So anytime you've got a feature that you're using and you don't need to use it anymore, Escape is on the keyboard of your Chromebook. So upper left corner, hit Escape, watch the plus sign, it goes away. So now that we have this basic shape, we need to adjust these numbers, and we also need to get rid of this wall. So in our living room, dining room, we do not have this actual wall here. So what I'm going to do is click on the wall and then hit Delete. And now I have this L-shape space. And then now we can start adjusting some of these dimensions. So what you're going to do is I start with this wall. In order to edit this number, I click on the perpendicular wall. So I'm going to come down here and click on this bottom wall, and then do you see how that opens up this box here? So now I can edit this number here. Yours are all going to be different. It depends on what size you made originally, but we're going to all get them where they need to be. So this wall is 22 feet. So 22 feet, and then hit Enter. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see everything. Now I want to edit this wall. So I'm going to come to this next wall and click here. So it's kind of awkward. You're having to grab the wall next to it in order to get this text box or this number box to open. So now this wall is 15 feet. So 15 feet, Enter. And then now this wall here, I'm going to edit this. So I'm going to click on this one. So this opens up, and this one is 9 feet. And then I want to edit this one, so I'm going to click on this wall. So then this opens, and this is 12 feet. Enter. And then that should be the last wall you have to edit. These last two fall into place with 13 and 27. So double check your numbers here. We've got 27, 22, 15, 9, 12, and 13. If you are off by 1 to 2 inches somewhere, but everything else is correct, don't worry about it. For whatever reason, the site sometimes does that to a handful of students each semester, where they do everything right and all the numbers are correct except for maybe one wall is 1 to 2 inches off. Don't worry about it. I don't know why that does that. So we're looking good. Next thing we're going to do is add in some of our architectural features. So starting with doors. So I'm going to come over here. On this wall here, we have a single swing door. So I'm going to come and grab this one right here. And I'm just clicking it and dragging it. And all you're going to do is place it into the wall. It goes and release. So I'm going to do that again. Grab single door, click and hold, drag it in and release. It is already 3 feet, so anytime you add a feature, I would adjust the dimension first, and then we'll change the wall dimensions from there. So this is 3 feet, so that's good, but right here is actually only 6 inches. So I'm going to go 6 inches, not 6 feet, and hit Enter. And then we've got the 3 and the 5, so that's good. Now the next thing we need to change right here is this is not how the door opens. So you can see the swing is coming to the exterior, and on our floor plan, it needs to go on the inside. So I'm going to click this, and when you click that, it opens up this black pop-up here. So I'm going to click flip once. Now you can see the swing goes in, but it's still not quite right. We need the door to go this way. So I'm going to click it one more time, and there we go. So now my swing is correct on that door. Okay. Now on this wall here, we have just a door opening. So it's not a door with a swing, it's just an opening. So if you scroll down, you can see right here, door opening. So I'm going to click and drag in, just like we did the previous, and release. And then let's adjust these numbers. So this is 3 feet. So 3 feet 0 inches, enter. And then right here it should be 2 feet, enter. And then that falls into place with 8 feet. So there's that. And then the last door is a slider right up here. So on the left side, we can see where it says sliding door. So I'm going to click and drag into that wall about where it goes and release. And then let's fix these numbers. So it's an 8-foot slider. And then on the right side of the door, it should be 2 feet of wall space. So 2 feet. And there we go. And then this would be 17 feet of wall. Okay, so there's our doors and door openings. And last thing we're going to add are the windows. So on this wall, we have a rather large window in the dining room. So I'm just going to click this one and drag it in, just like normal, and then we'll fix the sizes here. So this is a 6-foot window. And then to the left of the window, we have 3 feet with the 6-foot window, and then that should fall into place at 8 feet there. Okay, and then on this wall here, we have 2 windows. So I'm going to grab right here, click and drag it in. I'm just going to put it over here, and then adjust the dimension of always adjust the dimension of the object first. So this is a 3-foot window. And on the right-hand side, we've got 3 foot of wall space. I'll fix that. And then right here is a second window. So what you can do rather than adjusting everything, if you just click this one, you can click duplicate and then put it where it needs to go. So 3 foot. And then right now it thinks I want to keep adding, so just hit escape. So double check that. I watched the numbers when I placed it. You can go back and edit. So it should be 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 all along that bottom wall. And that's it. So we've got the room, the windows, the slider. The next video is going to show you how you can edit these windows and doors if you're not a fan. But what we have not done yet is looked at how it looks in 3D. So if you've noticed, there's been some changes happening over here. So what I like to do is drag this bigger, and then you can click and spin around your room here. So there you can see the 2 windows, and there's the window with the slider, and then you have the door opening. You can also, if you want to go into this view, just click right here. And now you are in the 3D view while the 2D is up here. So you'll get used to toggling between both. Sometimes it's easier to add things in 3D. Sometimes it's easier to add it in 2D. I tend to default to the 2D, and then I just keep this big so I can see both at the same time. All right, last thing we're going to do before we end this video is save. So what you can do is come up here and name your design. So let's do living room, dining room. And then I do want you to make it public. You can either do that now or later. The only reason why I do ask that you make it public is because if I need to see your design, I can't see it if it's private. So you can adjust that. Okay, so you are ready for video number 2 at this point.